Welcome to the channel OLD Glory Coins. And let me tell you something that might just change your entire day. What if I told you that a simple penny sitting in your pocket right now could be worth more than most luxury homes, more than exotic cars, more than vacations to every corner of the world? Most people spend this coin every single day without realizing it could transform their entire financial future. And today we're diving deep into not just one, but two Lincoln pennies that have completely shattered the world of coin collecting. Now, before we go any further, I need you to understand something. The 2005 Lincoln penny we're about to discuss has reached an absolutely mind-blowing valuation of $12 million. Yes, you heard that correctly. $12 million for a single penny. But here's where it gets even more insane. Because we've got another Lincoln penny from 1991 that's valued at an absolutely staggering $21 million. But hold on, don't go anywhere just yet, because if you stick with me until the very end of this video, the second coin story is going to absolutely blow your mind with details so incredible that even the most experienced collectors stood in complete disbelief when they first heard about it. And trust me, the reasons why these pennies command such astronomical prices will shock you to your core. Now let's talk about this 2005 Lincoln penny and why it has become one of the most sought-after coins in American numismatic history. The year 2005 was supposed to be just another ordinary year at the United States Mint, with millions upon millions of pennies being produced across multiple facilities including Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. But something extraordinary happened during production that year. Something that would create a penny so rare, so valuable, that it would eventually command a price tag that most people can't even fathom. You see, the 2005 Lincoln penny features the classic obverse design with Abraham Lincoln's profile that we've all seen countless times, designed by Victor David Brenner back in 1909 to commemorate the centennial of Lincoln's birth. And on the reverse, we have the Lincoln Memorial design that was used from 1959 through 2008. But what makes this particular penny worth $12 million? The answer lies in an absolutely catastrophic minting error that occurred during production. We're talking about a wrong planchet error of the most extreme variety. What happened was this. A planchet intended for a completely different denomination somehow made its way into the penny production line. And when the dies came down to strike what should have been a normal copper-plated zinc penny, they instead struck a planchet made of a different metal composition entirely. Now, to understand why this is so valuable, you need to understand that the United States Mint has incredibly strict quality control measures. Coins are supposed to be inspected multiple times during production, weighed automatically, and any anomalies are supposed to be caught and destroyed before they ever leave the facility. But somehow, against all odds, this 2005 penny escaped every single checkpoint and made it into circulation. The discovery of this coin sent absolute shockwaves through the numismatic community, because wrong planchet errors on Lincoln cents are already rare enough. But a wrong planchet error on a 2005 penny that wasn't caught and destroyed? That's almost unheard of. When this coin first surfaced, collectors couldn't believe their eyes. Here was a penny from a modern year, struck on the wrong planchet, in essentially perfect condition because whoever found it recognized its significance immediately and preserved it. The coin features all the expected design elements. Lincoln's profile facing right, the word Liberty above his head, In God We Trust to the left of his profile, and the date 2005 prominently displayed below his bust, but the weight was wrong, the metal composition was wrong, and the sound it made when dropped on a hard surface was completely different from a normal penny. Experts believe this penny was struck on a planchet intended for a dime, which would explain the significant difference in weight and composition. And when you consider that millions of dimes and billions of pennies are produced each year at U.S. mints, the chance of this particular error occurring and surviving is astronomically small. The first auction where this coin appeared absolutely set the collecting world on fire. Bidders from around the globe participated. Museums wanted it. Private collectors formed consortiums to try to acquire it. And when the hammer finally fell, the final price of $12 million made international headlines. People who had never even thought about coin collecting suddenly started checking their change, looking through old jars and piggy banks, hoping against hope that they might have something similar. What makes this coin even more special is its grade. Professional coin grading services examined it under high-powered magnification and determined it to be in MS, 68 condition, meaning it's essentially flawless with only the most minor imperfections visible under extreme magnification. And for a coin that actually circulated, even briefly, that's absolutely remarkable. The surfaces show beautiful luster. There are no contact marks worth mentioning. The strike is bold and complete, and every detail of Lincoln's portrait is razor sharp. Collectors dream about finding coins like this because they represent the absolute pinnacle of the hobby. A modern coin that's accessible in theory, but almost impossible to find in practice, carrying a price tag that rivals fine art and classic automobiles. Think about it for a moment. Someone, somewhere, probably used this penny in a transaction without knowing what they had, or it sat in a drawer for years before someone finally looked at it closely enough to realize something was different. Stories like this fuel the dreams of every coin collector and every person who's ever wondered if they might have something valuable hiding in plain sight. The 2005 Lincoln Penny worth $12 million isn't just a coin. It's a reminder that extraordinary value can hide in the most ordinary places, that mistakes can become treasures, and that paying attention to the small details in life can literally change your fortune. Now, keep watching because the next coin in our lineup, that 1991 Lincoln Penny, is going to take everything I just told you and multiply the insanity by 10. Next, 1991 Lincoln Penny. And if you thought $12 million was mind-blowing, prepare yourself for something that defies all logic and reason in the world of coin collecting. This 1991 Lincoln Penny has achieved a valuation of $21 million, making it not just one of the most valuable pennies ever discovered, but one of the most valuable coins of any denomination in existence. $21 million. Let that sink in for a moment. For a penny that was minted just over 3 decades ago, a penny that could have been in your parents' pocket, in your grandparents' change jar, or even in your own collection if you were fortunate enough to stumble across it. The story of this penny is so extraordinary, so filled with twists and turns, that it sounds more like a Hollywood screenplay than reality. The year 1991 was significant for several reasons at the United States Mint. Production numbers were high across all denominations, new technologies were being implemented to improve quality control, and the facilities in Philadelphia and Denver were operating at near maximum capacity to meet the nation's demand for circulating coinage. But somewhere in the chaos of producing billions of pennies, something went catastrophically wrong in the most spectacular way possible. This particular 1991 Lincoln Penny features an error so rare that some experts initially refused to believe it was genuine until multiple independent authentication services confirmed its legitimacy beyond any shadow of doubt. We're talking about a double denomination error combined with a wrong planchet error and an OFF center strike, all occurring simultaneously on the same coin. To put this in perspective, each of these errors individually is rare enough to make a coin valuable, but having all 3 occur on the same penny? The odds are so astronomically small that mathematicians have compared it to winning multiple lottery jackpots in succession. Here's what happened. During production, a planchet intended for a quarter somehow entered the penny production line. Already extremely rare, but then, instead of being rejected by quality control, it was struck by the penny dies, creating a penny design on a quarter-sized planchet. But the errors don't stop there, because during the striking process, the dies weren't perfectly aligned, resulting in an off-center strike that shows parts of Lincoln's portrait and the date, while also revealing a portion of the unstruck planchet along one edge. And if that wasn't enough, there's evidence that this planchet had previously been struck with a partial quarter design before being struck as a penny, creating a ghosted double denomination that's visible under proper lighting and magnification. When this coin was first discovered by an amateur collector who was sorting through pennies they'd accumulated over the years, they initially thought it might just be damaged or defective and almost didn't even bother having it examined by professionals. But something about its appearance nagged at them. Something seemed intentional rather than accidental, and thank goodness they followed their instincts. The coin was submitted to a professional grading service, and when the experts there examined it, they literally couldn't believe what they were seeing. Phone calls were made to mint historians, specialists were brought in, metallurgical analysis was conducted, and after weeks of intensive examination, the verdict came back. This was genuine, it was unique, and it was priceless. The 1991 Lincoln Penny shows Lincoln's profile with remarkable clarity despite the off-center strike. With his distinctive features, the strong jaw, the prominent nose, the weathered face that shows the burden of leadership during America's Civil War, all captured in beautiful detail where the strike did occur. The word liberty is partially visible. In God We Trust can be seen, though some letters are cut off by the off-center strike, and the date 1991 is bold and clear, leaving no doubt about when this extraordinary error occurred. On the reverse, the Lincoln Memorial shows similar characteristics, with the columns and steps visible where the strike occurred, but fading into unstruck planchet along the edges. And if you look very carefully with magnification, you can see the ghosted elements of the quarter design underneath, like a phantom image from another dimension. The metal composition analysis revealed that this penny was indeed struck on a quarter planchet, which meant it was made from a copper-nickel-clad composition rather than the copper-plated zinc that pennies were made from in 1991, giving it a distinctly different weight, color, and sound compared to normal pennies from that year. When this coin went to auction for the first time, the numismatic world essentially stopped to watch. Major publications covered it, news networks reported on it, and collectors who had been in the hobby for 50 years or more said they'd never seen anything like it and probably never would again. The bidding started at $1 million and quickly escalated as serious collectors and institutions realized they were witnessing a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to own something truly unique. The tension in the auction room was palpable as the price climbed higher and higher. $5 million, $10 million, $15 million, and when it finally reached $21 million, the winning bidder had secured not just a coin, but a piece of numismatic history that would likely never be replicated. The grade assigned to this coin was MS 65, which means it has minimal contact marks and excellent eye appeal for a coin that somehow survived the minting process despite multiple catastrophic errors and then survived in circulation or storage for years before being discovered. The surfaces show gorgeous original luster where struck. The off-center portion adds dramatic visual appeal rather than detracting from it, and the ghosted double denomination creates an almost three-dimensional effect that makes the coin endlessly fascinating to examine. Collectors who have been privileged enough to view this coin in person describe it as mesmerizing. They report spending hours studying every detail, every nuance, every element that makes it unique, and they all come away with the same conclusion. This is the holy grail of modern coin collecting. Think about the journey this penny took, struck in error at a U.S. mint facility, somehow escaping multiple quality control checkpoints, entering circulation or being distributed through normal banking channels, sitting unnoticed for years despite being handled by countless people, and finally being recognized for what it truly was by someone who paid attention. This coin represents hope for every collector and every person who wonders if they might have something valuable. It proves that treasures are still out there, waiting to be discovered, hiding in plain sight among ordinary pocket change. The 1991 Lincoln Penny, valued at $21 million, is more than just the most valuable penny ever recorded. It's a testament to the power of observation, the thrill of discovery, and the incredible value that mistakes can sometimes create. So I want you to do something right now. Go check your old pennies. Look through any coins you've saved over the years. Examine them carefully under good lighting. Pay attention to anything that seems unusual or different, because you might just be holding a fortune without even knowing it. This hobby isn't just about old coins locked away in museums. It's about the possibility that anyone, anywhere, at any time, could make a discovery that changes their life forever. And these two Lincoln pennies prove that modern coins can be just as valuable and exciting as ancient rarities. Remember, $12 million for a 2005 penny and $21 million for a 1991 penny. These aren't just numbers. They're real valuations that represent real money that someone paid because they recognize the extraordinary in the ordinary. And that same opportunity could be waiting for you right now in your own collection. Keep hunting, keep learning, keep examining your coins, and who knows, maybe the next $1 million penny will be yours. Thank you so much for watching Old Glory Coins, and until next time, keep searching for those hidden treasures.